Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast today. The Center for Cognition and Recovery helps individuals develop and enhance their mental capacities through cognitive enhancement therapy. Executive Director Ray Gonzalez and graduate Sylvia Pilskin are here to tell us more about that. Then later on, Yvonne Pointer will share information about an upcoming conference focusing on emotional genetics. And later in the broadcast today, we'll hear from the Director of Resource Development for the Boys and Girls Clubs of Lorain County, Wendy Murray, and General Manager of the Lake Erie Crushers, Ryan Gates. We'll talk about the programs and the services of the organization. Good morning again. I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope, and so we begin. Beginning right now with two great people, Ray Gonzalez, Executive Director for the Center of Cognition and Recovery, and Sylvia Pilskin, a graduate of the JFSA Center of Cognition and Recovery. Good to have you both with us.
Good morning.
Yeah. Let's start with you, Executive Director Ray Gonzalez. What is the mission of Center of Cognitive Recovery?
It's to help people recover from mental illness. The people can and do recover from mental illness. In fact, it's the norm. And we developed this really great program called CET, or Cognitive Enhancement Therapy, that helps them to do that.
What happens how do you help folks do that?
CET is a program that's once a week for 48 weeks. It's a long, involved program, but we use computer exercises and cognitive groups, social cognition groups, to help people really understand how society functions, how the workplace functions. Our goal is to help people recover and get back into deployment.
Yeah. Let's bring Sylvia Pilskin. You're a graduate of the Center of Cognition and Recovery. Tell me, how did you get involved in the CET program?
Well, I started going to the Jewish Family Service for some help, and they were starting to offer that class, so I really, I felt it was going to be beneficial for me to to attend it. And I to tell you, I couldn't have chosen a better thing.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about that, how it helped you.
Well, one of the things that they do, one of the things that really stuck with me is the fact of bringing the ideas from the back of the brain to the frontal brain. And that really, that really stuck with me to the point that that's what I do, all the time. And then also what they do is make a list of the things, how should I achieve what I want to achieve, and make a list of that. And that, that it really stayed with me. It's been a couple of years already, and it really stays with me.
Now you bring those ideas from the back of the brain to the front of the brain and able to act on them and accomplish a lot of things that you want to accomplish.
Yeah, and also, I saw other people in the, in the class, what, their procedure from when they first started to when it finished, and how, it helped them, from the beginning. They just didn't know where to go or what to do, and then at the end of the course, they felt that they had found a path to follow.
Yeah. Ray Gonzalez, who qualifies for the CET treatment?
People who have a mental illness, mental disability, but they're in a stable recovery phase, so that they want to get back and do more, that they tend to be socially isolated, not be able to communicate well, not understanding how society functions. And what CET does is to reduce those barriers, to help them to understand how society functions, how the workplace functions, to improve their working memory, how to remember things in an employment situation, and to connect with other people in the family and in society.
Where does all of this happen? Where does this kind of therapy take place?
Well, we have 11 sites in 4 states. We have 3 sites in the greater Cleveland area. And we're doing a new group at Recovery Resources, 2900 Detroit Avenue. We're actually forming that group right now.
What kind of costs are we talking about?
Well, these are covered by Medicaid. So if someone has Medicaid, that covers all the costs for someone.
You heard Sylvia's comments just a couple of seconds ago. That's the kind of comments that you strive for, right, with everybody who comes, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. What age groups are we talking about?
Adults now, but we're in the process of working to have this what's called transitional youth, the 16 to 22-year-olds. But right now we're working with 18 to 65.
How's life going for you now, Sylvia?
Well, it's going really well, because besides my own recovery, after taking this class, it just helped me to to decide where where to go. And right now I'm actively looking for a job, and I'm also feeling that my own life is really in its right path.
And you just need somebody to give you a break out there and,
right now,
find something. What would you like to do?
Well, I have an LSW. I'm a social worker, too. I worked with foster kids before. But as I was telling Ray before, right now I either want to work with women in transition, I happen to be from Argentina, so I am Latina, or you know, to work as an advocate with people with mental health, where, you know, to route where the, you know, all the benefits that are very hard to understand.
Certainly an employer out there or an organization out there may well be hearing your words, and we'll give you a telephone call. Speaking of telephone calls, we'll put the number on the screen where you can get more information on everything we're talking about. It is 216-504-6428, as you see at the bottom of the screen, or you can go to cetcleveland.org, cetcleveland.org. Give us your thought process on all of this, why you think this is so vital, Ray.
Well, I've been doing social work for 35 years. This is the best thing I've seen in my career as a social worker. It really helps people to, again, understand their own thinking process, how to be more active thinking, not to go on autopilot. And we all tend to be somewhat on autopilot.
Sometimes we are on autopilot,
yes.
And we need to get the controls of the aircraft and fly it ourselves.
Exactly, exactly. And people with mental disabilities tend to do that more. They want to be safe and secure, and life isn't always safe and secure. There's always things happening. So CET helps them to understand and give the tools to handle new things in their lives.
What's the process going from to just getting started in our final 30 seconds? What's the process of getting started?
Will be to contact me at the phone number that you gave, and we can discuss things and see what we can do, help people get connected.
Or have a family member contact.
Family member would be fine, or a case manager, a social worker.
Somebody like that.
Right.
And you got 3 sites right here in the greater Cleveland area.
Right. At JFSA, at Plan in Northeast Ohio, and at the Center for Cognition and Recovery. And we're running a couple groups. And the newest one's going to be, as I said, Recovery Resources at 2900 Detroit Avenue.
The telephone number you see, ladies and gentlemen, we've kept it on the screen for quite a while now, 216-504-6428. You can get more information on everything we've been talking about. Ray Gonzalez, Executive Director of the Center for Cognition and Recovery, and Sylvia Pilskin, a graduate of the JFSA Center of Cognition and Recovery. Thanks so much for being on the broadcast.
Thank you, sir.
And we're glad things are going better for you. Let's get you a job now.
Yeah.
Somebody out there is watching. Let's hope it works for you. I've got to take a break. We'll be right back with more of Kaleidoscope after these words, especially for you. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope. Emotional genetics expert Judy Smith says that just as our physical characteristics are inherited from our families, so are our emotional patterns. She'll be in Cleveland for a conference focusing on emotional genetics, as it is called, in late July. Well, the conference co-chair, Yvonne Pointer, is here, and she will explain what emotional genetics means to each of us and how you may benefit from this event. Good to see you, my good friend, Yvonne Pointer, co-chair of Emotional Genetics Conference. How are you, Yvonne?
Good, wonderful, Leon. How are you?
I'm just doing fine.
Great. I'm excited to be here.
What is emotional genetics?
Well, let me just explain it from my premature understanding, because this was one of those divine appointments that I had when I met Judy Smith in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I made a simple statement, and I don't really recall what the statement was at this time, but when I said it, she said, aha, I bet I could tell you some things about yourself. And a stranger began to really speak to me personally. And I said, well, how do you know that? And she started talking about how emotional genetics, and they are patterns of behaviors. She said, just like diabetes, heart, stroke, all of this is passed down through generations, so are emotions. And once we identify what those patterns are, we can break them and break the cycle. And she said some of this goes back 7 generations.
Oh, yeah. You inherit things from your parents.
Exactly.
You learn things from your parents, and you tend to take on their attitudes a lot of times in life.
And sometimes people wonder, why do they do what they do? You know, especially when there's some things that you say, well, I'm not going to ever do that again. I promise you that. And then you repeat it. So Judy comes in and gives you some techniques on breaking the cycles.
Sometimes when I was growing up, my mother would say, "You act just like your father." I'd say, "Well,
that was a good
I said, well, I hope that's a good thing."
Well,
and it normally would be, but that's the kind of thing we're talking about. Emotionally, how we get involved.
Right, and sometimes it is a good thing, Leon, and sometimes it's not a good thing.
All depends on what Mom was talking about.
Exactly. Maybe not in your case, but let's talk about a case of violence and people who perpetrate against innocent people. Well, she can take it back to say somewhere in your genetic history there was an unresolved trauma. And as a result of that, this thing is carrying forth. So she deals with a lot of unresolved traumas, and she's been here several times. She was here for the Women of Color Conference with Alex Boone, and the people loved her so much until they wanted her back.
So Judy Smith is running this Emotional Genetics Conference. You're co-chairing that thing. And it's going to be Friday and Saturday, July 30th and 31st at the Beechwood Marriott Hotel.
Correct.
Now, what do you want folks? You want folks to come to this and learn about themselves. Is that what happens?
Exactly. We want people to realize, especially those who are struggling with their inner beings, and you know, we're not taking anything away from God or church. We're just adding something to that. And so we want people to come. If individuals are interested in sponsoring the event, because a lot of people that need to be there, Leon, that's maybe working with children or working in the community, may not be able to afford the cost of the registration. So
speaking of which
is only $249 for the 2 days.
But you get so much for that $249.
Oh, it's worth it. It's worth it. And then through sponsorships, we're going to be able to offer scholarships for individuals who may not be able to afford to come. As a matter of fact, we've already had some sponsors, such as Third Federal Savings and Loan, United Black Fund, and Margaret Wong.
What did you learn by going through this?
What I did learn is that I was a daddy's girl. Let's just say it, in case there's any daddy's girls out there. And my mother would always say, "You love your father more than me." Well, I looked at my father from the perspective of a daughter, not from the perspective as a wife. So therefore, some behaviors that I was repeating, I needed to take my rightful place in the system as the daughter. And I know it may sound a little confusing, but that's why they have to come to the conference. We had a relationship workshop with her here where we had men and women come together to talk about some of the challenges we face in relationships, and it was a profound event.
This carries over in relationships between a couple gets together. We got 1 minute remaining. A couple gets together. And there may be friction, but they're carrying baggage they may have inherited or brought over or brought into themselves.
And have not even considered that it's being passed down. So, and that is possible to break the cycle.
So those bad things we want to break.
We want to get rid of them.
And the good things, of course, you want to hold on to.
Oh, we want to keep up with grandma's peach cobblers and pound cakes. Those are good traditions to pass on.
We just need to identify what's the good and what's bad.
Unresolved trauma.
And Judy Smith is going to be your keynote speaker. She's going to be your facilitator at this conference. Once again, it's going to be July the 30th and 31st at the Beechwood Marriott Hotel, $249 for both days. And we've kept the phone number on the screen there, 999-8573. You can call that number to get registered, I'm certain, 216 area code, or you can go to emotionalgenetics.com, find more information on everything we've been talking about.
Correct. Thank you so
Yvonne
much.
Pointer, one of the many community activists in Cleveland who keeps us on the right path. Good to see you, my friend.
Thank you, Leon. I appreciate it.
Be well, Yvonne.
Thank you.
Be well. Take care. I'm going to take a break right now. We'll return with more of Kaleidoscope after this. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. Glad you could be with us. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Lorain County has partnered with the All-Pro Freight Stadium, home of the Lake Erie Crushers, to host a benefit concert. And the Director of Resource Development, Wendy Murray, is here. And the General Manager of the Lake Erie Crushers, Ryan Gates, is also here to talk more about this event, about the mission of the Boys and Girls Clubs together. Good to have you with us.
Thank you.
Yeah, Wendy Murray, Director of Resource Development. Give me a little thumbnail sketch now of the mission of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Lorain County.
Well, we service over 5,800 children in the Lorain County area. from ages 6 to 18. We do after-school programming as well as summer programming. We do all kinds of neat events, field trips, things like that. But mostly we focus on education, health and fitness, hot meals, things like that. So.
Getting the kids on the right track. If they're not on the right track, certainly keeping them on the right track if they're already on the right track. The Boys and Girls Clubs of Lorain County, they do a wonderful job. And also with us this morning is Ryan Gates, General Manager, All-Pro Freight Stadium, home of the Lake Erie Crushers. How's the baseball team doing?
Team's doing real well. We've won 7 in a row. I think it's now 10 of 11, and a game out of first place.
So we're hitting for average and hitting for power.
Yes, sir.
That's what we want. Tell me about the relationship now with the Lake Erie Crushers and the stadium with the Boys and Girls Clubs of Lorain County.
Actually, we've been working with Wendy now for about 6 months. She came to us about being the venue for a concert this summer, and with a lot of back and forth, we were lucky enough to secure Alan Jackson at the ballpark. And now, with all the ticket sales for the concert, it's going to benefit the Boys and Girls Club. And, you know, we're used to promoting baseball, and here's an opportunity to bring a concert, bring a huge national name to the ballpark and support the Boys and Girls Club. And it's just it's a win-win for both parties.
It's going to be on July the 15th at the ballpark.
Yes, sir.
And who's going to be your big headliner there?
Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson. They're going to be rocking and rolling and having a good time.
Yes, he is.
Now this is vital. Now what happens when you raise the money, and we're going to raise some money for you right here. When you raise the money, how does that help you do what you need to do with the Boys and Girls
Well, with
Clubs?
all the children that we serve, I mean, obviously we need funds to fund us for operational reasons for the kids. So we have 13 sites in Lorain County. So we're really proud to have a partnership with the Lake Erie Crushers and do a concert of this magnitude. You know, our unemployment rate in Lorain County is very high, so there are a lot of kids that we service, and you know, all the monies that we receive from the concert and the benefit is going to go to the 5,800 kids that we serve each day.
And you can't ask for a better venue than the stadium there.
It's beautiful. I mean,
the All-Pro Freight Stadium, home of the Lake Erie Crushers, new stadium, very intimate ballpark, close to all the action. So
you took my word. I would have said intimate as well. There's not a bad seat in the house. We're going to be able to put over 5,000 people on the field for the concert, and then fill the seating bowl as well. So it's just going to be a fantastic venue.
So tickets are very cheap, $35 for general admission and $45 for floor seats. So, you know, this is a community event. You know, we're very lucky and fortunate that it supports Boys and Girls Clubs of Lorain County and our kids and the 5,800 members. But it's a great thing for Lorain County, for the Crushers, bringing a venue like this, and this is something that we want to do year after year with each other.
How do we get tickets now?
Well, you visit Lake Erie Crushers website, which is lakeeriecrushers.com. There's a link right there on the home page that can take you to buy tickets right there. You can go visit the ballpark, visit All-Pro Freight Stadium right there in Avon, or you can call us at 440-934-3636. That's 934-3636, and we'd be happy to help place your order.
Ryan, as you gave the numbers, we got the numbers right on the screen, and people can get right to the ballpark. It's right there in Avon.
It is. It's right off 90.
Right off 90. You can see it from 90. I mean, it's a beautiful, beautiful location. You wanted to add something.
You could actually go to Channel 5 website and get the tickets there as well.
Newsnet5.com, and we will link you to their link, so you can get tickets. So there are a variety of ways to get tickets. You say they're $35 to $45, and not a bad seat in the house.
Oh no, not a bad seat in the house, and it's a benefit. I mean, it's like I said, it's a benefit concert. It's a great cause. You know, we service some great kids, and it's a good thing.
You've got a national spokesman too, by the name of Denzel Washington, the great Hollywood actor. We see the billboards around town. He grew up going to the Boys and Girls Clubs in his community.
Yes, he did.
How does that help you get your point across?
You know, I think the Boys and Girls Clubs, I think, you know, our biggest thing is we want to help these kids have a better and brighter future, a safe haven for them to go to, you know, after school and in the summer, and to provide them with a better way of success in their future. And I think that, you know, Denzel being our spokesperson and being a member of the Boys and Girls Club, I think makes a huge difference for these kids.
And Ryan, while we got a minute to go, let's talk a little bit about the baseball. What do you think about the Lake Erie Crushers? How is it looking for you guys, and what do you think about the Frontier League and the way your guys are playing?
Well, year two's been a great start for us. Through the first 18 home games, we're drawing a couple more hundred people at the ballpark. But on top of that, the team's responding as well. They started a little sluggish. We're coming off a championship season in our inaugural year, and now they're putting it together. We're a game out of first, and we've got a long way to go. But we've proved to be competitive, and we talk about the intimate venue at the ballpark. Most of our tickets are under $10. It's a great place to go.
And while you're putting it together on the baseball side, you're helping the Boys and Girls Clubs on the other side, too, because not only are you playing baseball, but you're great community activists and the whole franchise there, the Lake Erie Crushers.
We're proud to be partnered with them, very proud.
And you've got every reason to be proud, and they've got every reason to be proud of being with you. The phone number is 440-934-3636. More information on everything we've been talking about. Tickets $35 to $45, correct? And you can go to LakeErieCrushers.com and get more information on the things that we've been talking about. But it's going to be a big day, Thursday, July 15th at the stadium, All-Pro Freight Stadium, home of the Lake Erie Crushers in Avon. Alan Jackson, you'll be rocking and rolling, making money, and helping the kids. Good to have you on the broadcast. Wendy Murray and Ryan Gates, thank you so much. I'll take a break. I'll be right back. Marsha Maccabee of the Urban League with Words of Wisdom after these words, especially for you. One of our partners on the broadcast is the Urban League of Greater Cleveland. Its president and CEO is Marsha Maccabee, who is here offering what I always call words of wisdom.
Thank you, Leon. How are you today?
I'm okay, Marsha.
Good,
I'm doing
good.
well. You too.
Good, doing well. Listen, I want to sort of celebrate today young people. We have a group of young people from our program called Project Ready, Career Beginnings, a small core group of them who have come to the Urban League to do community service and service learning projects. They have been cleaning up around our building, planting flowers, pulling weeds, doing the grass, and the building is looking better and better each day because of their efforts.
Isn't that nice?
It is.
Isn't that nice?
It is. And today they are actually going to a event out of town where they're going to see a drama of the Tecumseh, who was a great Indian warrior, and get a chance to be exposed to some other culture.
Yeah.
So it's a holistic program that we're running with those young people this summer. But I was very excited about what they're doing.
Oh, and they're beautifying the building outside with little landscaping and all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, when I was growing up, Mother used to tell me, go pull up some weeds, and I want you to put these flowers around the house. I says, oh, Ma. She says, believe me, it'll build character.
It does.
And it does. It does. And it really does build character.
And pride in your surroundings,
Certainly.
which is really important. And I see that on their faces as they're making it look better. They're very proud of what it is that they've done and they've contributed. So that's why I wanted to give them a shout out today and thank them for what they've done.
We are appreciative of what they do, and I'm glad that you gave them a shout out, because when the kids do good things, we need to put that on the air as well.
Absolutely.
So we have. So they're doing a wonderful job at the Urban League headquarters. Thank you, Marsha.
Thank you, Leon.
That's going to do it. Marsha Maccabee will tell you, and so will I. Be well, everyone, and we'll talk again.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.